After 3 rounds across 8 action-packed weeks, it all comes down to this: a return to the rapidly developing hub of NEOM in Saudi Arabia, a truly unique stop on any sporting calendar for the Super League Triathlon Grand Final, the 30th event in Super League history over 5 seasons, and incredibly, 9 athletes have a shot at taking a World Championship title, but they will be fighting heat, they will be fighting wind, and they will be fighting the very best in the world to ever do it. And we are going to get underway with the Women's Grand Final racing. Let's have a look at the leaderboard as it stands. Jean Leher, off the back of great performances in London and Malibu, sits atop, but 3 women can win with a victory here in this race. Emma Lombardi from France and Kate Woff. Beth Potter and Sophie Caldwell, well, they would be in the mix. Potter would anyway, but she's not here. Caldwell can do it, and there is plenty of big names behind. Cassandra Beaugrand, having won in Malibu. She's out of the title race, but she's definitely one of the favourites for the race win. And look out for Taylor Spivey as well. All right, here we go. The Enduro in the grand final in NEOM, and they are off. Good start towards us by Sophie Caldwell on the left-hand side of your screen now as a head out on the first of 9 legs here in the Enduro, the most brutal of all the formats, my personal favourite of the formats as well. There is no stopping, no pursuit starts, and nowhere to hide. And in the middle, Cassandra Beaugrand has had one of her trademark fast starts. They are as they round the second buoy and they head for home. It's very, very windy out here today. That will play havoc on the bike, and it does make it hard with the wind chop coming in on the swim. There is Kate Woff, who won and really announced herself on the Super League scene in Toulouse. Has a nice clean transition, and the first short shoot is going to go to the Sharks as Matthias does the job in and out of transition. Good transition as well from Emma Lombardi, who made up some places.
It's like riding into a brick wall. It's absolutely brutal, this course.
We got orders from the boss, take it out super hard from the gun. Literally, we're going to whip the swim up and the bike up and get to see what happens and see what's left for the run. But the girls are really pushing the pace, as you can see. They're fired up and they're ready to go. We are not losing out like we did last year.
You can just see now Taylor Spivey over the line. Was that Sophie Caldwell? No, it's Olivia Matthias again, finishing the bike in first place, just in front of the other athletes. It's going to be really interesting to see what the American athlete does here.
Who's going to get the short shoot? Let's jump in, let's find out. And the Sharks are going to deny the other teams a potential second short shoot.
These athletes have got to save a little bit for the next 2 legs here, because there's still a lot of racing to be done. But these are big statements that Woff and Cassandra Beaugrand, Leher tucked in there. Emma Lombardi, as you said, just having to work a little bit harder to get back on. Not sure what happened in transition there, because we've also lost Sophie Caldwell, who now finds herself 5 seconds back. You don't want to be losing that sort of time at this stage in the race.
At the rate these women are running, I think Caldwell might be even further back than that. That was the split at the time. There is Matthias at the back, and I think it's probably more than 5 seconds. The absolutely key thing here is who gets the final short shoot. Will it be one of the other teams, or will the Sharks sweep it? We'll head down now to Rebecca with the Scorpions manager, MG.
MG, we know that Cassandra can't take the overall, but she can cause a lot of upset in the process.
Well, she's got to take the win. We need those points. Double points are up, or double the margin points, so we need those drastically.
But this short shoot, both the Eagles and the Scorpion that are there will want that one, which means crossing this line in transition first. And Jean Leher knows it, and off she goes at the front. Lombardi to follow. Tim Don is turning the bikes around and getting everything ready. We'll see if we can get a word with him as the Eagles are up the front.
Tim, just going to quickly jump in. Jan Leher there, of course, capitalising on that run as expected, but also taking short shoot. What next?
Yeah, you know, that was the goal. She really wanted to get those run points, and that doubles up as a short shoot. But it's great to see Emma Lombardi with her. Now on the second race, we've got different tactics, so we can wait for that last race.
11 points are separating the Sharks and the Eagles, and then 18 points back to the Scorpions. But looking back to last year, there was a 24-point difference coming into the final, and of course the Scorpions did take the overall team victory. They have 1 athlete up there, but the rest of them a little bit far behind.
It is Beaugrand who has had the best swim, and Lombardi tacks on behind her, and then Woff, and then Leher. It's disappointing, I suppose, for Kate Woff, who would have really liked to have another Shark in there in the mix to help work together with her, because she's on her own in terms of doing it for the Sharks, where there's two Eagles who will do a little bit to work together as well.
And it's interesting what happens here, because let's not forget Emma Lombardi and Lahair are both going for the titles. Like, how do they work together? Like, what are the dynamics? They're not going to really want to help one another, because each of them know they have to beat the other to take the title.
Yeah, well, ideally you work together until you drop the other two, and then you have a two-woman shootout, but it's not as simple and as clean-cut as that, as Woff rides herself and Cassandra Beaugrand and Jean Lahair back up.
I think Jean Lahair earned the short shoot, so I think I'm going to give it to her today. And she is the leader of the series, so it makes sense for me to do that. But we've still got a lot to play, and I could change my mind if something happens on the next run.
What Cassandra Beaugrand did there is came to the far right-hand side of the road, so no one could tuck in on her right and get any safety or any buffer from the wind.
There are games going on here, because the three athletes behind know what Beaugrand's capable of doing on the run. The battle is between those three for the title.
We've got a confirmation of the short shoot for the Sharks will go to Kate Woff, and fair enough too. She is a primary, I suppose, contender, as Stuart Hayes puts the short shoot sign on Kate Woff's transition area, so she'll know when she comes in. Tim Don has done exactly what he said he was going to do. Jean Lahair will take the other short shoot, which means Emma Lombardi misses out. The winner will come from this group, the championship winner and the race winner, you would think, and Spivey is back off the back again. So she hasn't been doing a lot of running, Taylor Spivey, and that's why we're seeing her drop back on the run and then come back into contention on the swim and the bike. Have you ever seen a view like that in any triathlon or sporting event ever? It's like we're on the surface of Mars.
This is a little bit of an uphill section on this run course here. Then they get to turn around. They'll have the wind slightly behind them and a bit of downhill back into transition.
We head on to the black carpet again. We're going to transition now, shoes off and back into the water for the final time. And that run was significantly slower than the first run for the front women, who are all deciding now that they're going to end up in a group. We could see some work here. We've got two Eagles and two Sharks, so how do they work together to drop the others? As Cassandra Beaugrand swimming on her own on the left-hand side of your screen, and everyone else following Emma Lombardi. There's Kate Woff there, and Taylor Spivey with that ocean swimming turnover, you can see. At the back is Jean Lahair, who's tacked on.
This is our final swim here.
The two French women at the front, Beaugrand and Lombardi, and then the two Sharks. Behind them, the Brits of Matthias and Woff, then Spivey, and then Lahair.
Oh wow, and Emma Lombardi hasn't put a foot wrong in that swim. She got on the feet of her teammate, not a teammate here, but in terms of her French teammate, and had an absolutely perfect swim as she runs into transition.
Lombardi is off the front, but can she make it stick off the front? She's further up this time. To make now. She's got to decide. She looks behind her and go, okay, I've got 50 metres. Do I go for it and try and run my way home by myself to win the race and the title? Or do I save my legs and try and do it later? She thinks to herself, I can't outrun Jean Lahair in a sprint. I can't outrun Cassandra Beaugrand in a sprint. And suddenly it's gone from 50 metres to 60 metres. Maybe at 21 years of age, she's young enough and she's enough of a daredevil to just think, I can guts this out and run it home with 1.6. Look at the gap now, it's expanding.
We did have a team plan to go super half in the beginning, and it has split the field, but all the major players are there, so it could be anyone's race.
So the gap looks to have basically
it's
halved again or disappeared.
It's definitely going to hurt her, that's for sure.
Well, it's not 10 seconds now, it's about 3 seconds.
Yeah, and this is what we saw when Spivey was able to get back on again when she looked so far away, and Olivia Matthias as well. That it's the end of the course there where the athletes get tired and they see the end coming.
Quickly things change, but all crossed together. Spivey's there still. The two Sharks go in. Let's listen in if we can.
This is where you go. Helmet in the box. Let's go, John!
And they're all back together again, and there's 1.6 kilometres to decide. The short shoot goes to Woff, she takes it, and the other one goes to Lahair to have her tack onto the back.
And Lahair completely missed that transition. She came in with the group. Really, all the short shoot was for her there, not to get an advantage, but to make back up what she'd lost in transition.
Yeah, what happened there?
Kate Woff, oh my goodness, what does she really need to focus on now with a view to that overall?
Well, she just needs to hold on to second. I think she's got the overall victory. I mean, Cassandra Blogon has literally blown her out of the sky a little bit, but she's coming back. If you look carefully, she's really coming after her. So, you know, she's had a fantastic race and had a fantastic series. I'm really happy for Kate.
She's running just over 3-minute kilometre pace, and she looks like she's out on a Sunday jog. Woff looking behind her. I think she knows she can't catch her now.
As Beaugrand knows that she has another win in her illustrious career, one of only 5 athletes in the men's and the women's who have taken part in every single year of Super League Triathlon racing. She has been supreme from her beginnings all the way through to 2023. She won in Malibu, and for the Bahrain Victoria Scorpions, she is going to win here in NEOM, her first time racing here in the desert. Cassandra Beaugrand will be your race winner. She heads onto the black carpet and she takes the black tape. Beaugrand in Malibu, Beaugrand in NEOM, and then over the line behind her and winning it for the RTP Global Sharks. Kate Woff is your 2023 championship winner. And she has earned it. Laher is going to come in behind her, and then Lombardi, both of the Eagles, but Kate Woff has upstaged the others. A winner in Toulouse, and her second here in NEOM is enough to do the job.
I mean, honestly, going into the last round, coming out of the swim, my legs felt so heavy, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a real fight. And I just kept reminding myself how badly I'd want to win this, and I think my form was absolutely gone in the last 400 metres of the run. I was just moving my legs as fast as possible, so yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon.
And confirmation that Kate Woff and John Laher finished on equal points, but Woff was ahead by 1 position, and that was all it took to steal the 2023 championship title. Emma Lombardi finishes in 3rd. Let's take a look at the men's leaderboard now as it stands heading into this one, and Leo Bergier is in the box seat. Toulouse, he won, he came 2nd in Malibu, but just like the women's, Brownlee and Wild can also win this one with a race win, and Henry Schoeman and Alex Yee are in contention as well. And they're off into the water for the first of 9 legs.
It's a long run in, it really is. You've got to keep going. If you dive too early, you're going to hit the bottom. But most of these guys have, in practice training, even in the warm-up, they've probably done it 20, even 30 times, working out what they need to do.
Hauser continues his way along the front with this one.
Matt Hauser coming into this race as the winner from NEOM in 2022, and what a brilliant performance he had there.
We'll all know that being part of this front group on the bike is just about the most crucial thing of all, as the short shoot first up goes to the Eagles next to Matt Hauser. So another one for Tim Don to play with. McQueen couldn't get it done. He starts in 2nd, and Hauser takes off. Reed, and I think that's Dixon.
Yeah, Berger as well.
Bergier takes over at the front. One of the championship contenders, Taylor Reed, had a great start to this race. McQueen is in there as well, and being a good swim biker is crucial in this one because you can tuck in at the front. There's not as big a gaps with the first 15 as there was in the women's, but still it's going to get very hard for these athletes struggling along at the back. We'll head down to Tim Don right now, who has again an eagle at the front.
Tim, a brilliant start there, such a strong start from Matt Hauser. I heard just as we came to the interview there, you saying good lad. What are your observations?
You know, I mean, it's fast race, you need to be in the front. Maddie's won here before. He had COVID at London, so couldn't race. Toulouse, he still was under the weather. He got 3rd in Malibu. He's looking good, but it's everything to play for.
You can see Brownlee there on the back of the group. Wild is there as well. So they've got 3 championship contenders who have their, I guess, their fate in their own hands. Alex Yee, who's on screen right now, trying to stay on the back of the group. He can win it if he has other results go his way, as can Henry Schoeman, who hasn't had the greatest swim.
Johnny Brownlee getting really close there to the sand. He doesn't want to be in a place where he finds that the road runs out.
Yeah, it's Wild that leads them around the top of the course. Reed tucked in behind, and Berger and 3 other Eagles in Hauser, Holman, Nina, along with Brownlee, are all looking to track them down. Hayden Wild from New Zealand, the 2022 champion, wants to go back-to-back, and he doesn't quite get the dismount right. Doesn't matter, racks it with the help from Michael Gilliam, his team manager. And the shoes go on, the helmet comes off, and there's another short shoot available. Down goes Leo Berger's bike. It's a total mess in there, but across the line is a short shoot for the Scorpions, earned by Hayden Wild, and Reed remains in second position. Berger, whose bike fell over, had to put that back up. He is doing everything not to let Hayden Wild get away. And Johnny Brownlee, we saw there, 7 seconds back. But out the front is Hayden Wild, and he should, unless Berger can run up to him. Well, it doesn't matter in the end because in terms of short shoots, because one has already been won by the Eagles and the Scorpions. Unless Johnny Brownlee can run past everyone and cross the mountain line first, the Sharks are going to miss out.
I wanted Hayden to pull up, but he said to me just in the transition, I got this. I don't want him off the front. He's now soloing. It's a real big risk in this sort of conditions.
Well, here we go now as well, comes through and finishes.
So denying everybody else
Absolutely.
the short shoot again, provided there's no disaster. Down into the water for the second swim is the Falcon, Hayden Wild, who is now probably at least 10 seconds ahead of the chasing pack. And there are 3 Eagles in there. There is another Scorpion in Taylor Reed. Things are dropping out of the box. The helmet on the ground, you saw that, that's okay. The manager can put that back on the bike, that's no problem. There you go, 10 seconds on the docket of Berger. Kenji Nina, who's having a great race. Johnny Brownlee, who needs to win this one to keep his destiny in his own hands. And Taylor Reed, who has contended at different points throughout this series and does so again.
And the water looks a little choppier now. The sun seems to have sort of gone in behind a cloud, and the sea's just got a little bit more lively.
And Wild, he's been in control. He's picked up a short shoot, and he's picked up another one.
Good race from Seth Ryder, good swim, strong swim as Alistair Brownlee, Hauser comes around, Taylor Reed, and Alex, she's going to have to work hard now. He's going to get on the back of this bike group.
A reminder again that there are 3 men who can win the championship if they win this race, and there is one of them, Leo Berger, in the tricolours, red, white and blue of France. There's another one, Johnny Brownlee, in the blue of the Sharks. And the last one is way out the front at the moment. Hayden Wild, 4 seconds cleared. Finally, one of his Warriors up the front in Ryder.
Nick, currently Seth Ryder sat in the second spot there.
We are absolutely thrilled with what Seth is putting together today. We didn't have him in Malibu, unfortunately, but wow, he's coming back and he's showing the storm of what this is all about for the Warriors.
That's the gap, first of all, Wild and the chasing duo, but then there's a big gap back to that chasing pack as well. And Johnny Brownlee will be watching his championship slip away. And Wild being on the right-hand side has allowed them to come in, and they are in the group together, and then there's a whole group behind them with Yee and Brownlee, Hauser and Nina, Reed and Schoeman. So Schoeman's come back into the group, so he's done very well there. So controversy from Michael Gilliam, who has handed Henry Schoeman the short shoot and not Hayden Wild, whereas Leo Berger has picked up the Eagles one. So suddenly in the race for the championship, Berger has an advantage over Wild, who will come in now and be told and realise that he will not get the short shoot that he earned. And they're off onto the run, so we are past the halfway point, well past it, and it's a group of 3. Leo Berger, 2022 World Champion, and Hayden Wild, 2022 Super League Triathlon Champion, and Seth Ryder doing it for America, and the Warriors at the front, and look at the gap back to everybody else. Johnny Brownlee will be panicking, knowing that he is now 18 seconds back after that transition.
You know what I'm going to ask you, why didn't you allocate the short shoot to Hayden Wild with Leo so close?
I think Hayden's got the day covered. We've come down to Toulouse. The two of the same that were in Toulouse have come back to the front again. Hayden said, I'm confident. So I went, bang, we need the points badly. So let's hope I've made the right decision.
Hayden Wild didn't get allocated that short shoot. Does that make you a little bit happy?
Of course, but you know, these are the best 2 in the world going mano a mano. This is what we want to see. I've always got to back my man, Leo Berger. Come on.
For the last time go the goggles and the swim caps. And we are 3 disciplines away from the end of the season, from crowning our final champion. And from finding out who wins the season-long teams battle, and Wild was a little quicker in that, but it doesn't matter one bit. Berger tacks on the back, and into the water they go for the final time. These two who have put so much time into the rest of the chasing pack now. Look how much further Wild ran into the water there before he did the old dolphin dive. Whoever wins this race wins the championship, and it's out of these two.
Leo Berger now just picking up the swift pace, and that's good because that's going to make Wild have to work a little bit harder here now.
Can he, Hayden Wild, the 2022 champion, drop Leo Berger?
You've got it. He doesn't.
That, you've got the short shoot. He doesn't, says Tim Don. It's in your back pocket.
And that's nice for him to know. If he didn't know it already, he's going to be thinking, hello, I've got a bit of advantage on the run. If I need a few seconds, I've got it.
These are the two best in the world in Super League Triathlon right now, and it's great to see it. I want to see Leo off the front, but, you know, Hayden's a pretty smart racer.
Hayden is a smart racer. He's doing everything he can to lose him, but he's still on his shoulder.
At the moment, I'm being the dumb manager because I chose for points and I didn't give the short shoot. He outsmarted me and took the short shoot across to his guy, so Hayden's got to pull back most probably 4 or 5 metres. We're in trouble.
We got some great points on the bike and on the swim. And that's what we're here to do. We really want to be that series champion again. It means everything to the Santara Tech Eagles.
All of them, except for Johnny Brownlee, have basically nothing to lose at this point, except for just going for that last spot on the podium for the race overall.
Now Alex Shee, having been what I thought was dead and buried earlier on the race, finds himself in that chase pack, and that is where the bronze medal in NEOM is going to come from.
Hayden showed some maturity there by not trying to outbike and saving some legs and trying to outrun Berger, or should he have done that?
He's going to get the short shoot. You can run him down, no pressure.
The short shoot is about to be taken, and it's taken now, which means Wild has to go around the long way, and suddenly Berger's in the box seat. Look at him disappear into the distance. Can Hayden Wild run down Leo Berger? This is what it comes down to. After 9 weeks of racing, two men going head-to-head, as they have done so many times before. Leo Berger and Hayden Wild, 1.5 kilometres now to decide our race winner and championship winner. Well, we're halfway through the run lap, and the gap hasn't got any smaller at the moment.
Johnny Brownlee now just dropping off the back, reading there. Johnny's still looking strong.
Let's see the turn. Yeah, he's got a little bit on him as they head back down.
Oh, wow.
And Wild is coming up onto the back of Berger, and could we have one of the great grandstand finishes? There is no advantage to be had, no short shoots left, nothing left except for 800 metres of hard-packed gravel between these two athletes, and a race and a championship series win. Can we crown a new champion in Leo Berger from France? Will we see a returning champion? As it seems like Berger has put the gas on a little bit again. Can Wild respond?
No, I think what happened is he started to catch as they were going up the hill. We know that uphill section, it's only ever so slight, but into the wind, it's really, really tough. And I think at that point, Wild suddenly became really positive. He was pulling back time on Leo Berger, but Leo Berger then had the advantage of turning that corner and heading back downhill. And then, you know, you've got the wind behind you, and it's all downhill into the finish. And I think Wild, for a split second, thought he might get him.
What other race? What other race would you hear that? And Leo Berger, he knows he's got it. He's done it, he's doing it for France. He saw Cassandra Beaugrand win the race as she did in Malibu, and now Leo Berger in a three-headed race between him, Johnny Brownlee and Hayden Wild has prevailed, as we listen to the silence now to be replaced by the roar of the crowd as Leo Berger looks behind and realises he has won this race like he did in Toulouse, but this time he has won the 2023 championship as well. Leo Berger is your champion. What a race, and Hayden Wild, well, he didn't have the short shoot, he could never get back, and he's pretty upset too. As Alex Yee comes across the line in third with a great run from Hauser. Line next comes Christian Blumenfeld, and then they come streaming in. And Reed wants to get Nina, wants to take those points. Can he chase him down? I think Reed did get Nina behind Schumann, so Scorpions in 6th and 7th. Nina in 8th with a great race, and Johnny Brownlee finishes 9th in this one. The pace was right on.
Tell me what you thought when you first found out that Hayden didn't have the short shoot.
Yeah, I was quite surprised actually when Tim told me. It changed a little bit the plan. It's in my advantage now, and I still have to play it smart to win this race, so it wasn't easy even with the short shoot.
There is confirmation of the leaderboard. Once again, Leo Berger does by 4 points. In fact, he did it by 9 seconds in this race to relegate Hayden Wild to second. Alex G jumped up into third, and Henry Schumann also leapfrogged Jonathan Brownlee. Congratulations to those three men and to all our athletes.
Well, we found a champion, Kate Watt, so we're super happy.
It was a tactical masterclass from Leo, but taking absolutely nothing away from Hayden.
Congratulations to the Santara Tech Eagles. We look forward to being back in 2024